first, we turn to the other big news tonight, the first vice presidential debate. It's coming up in just about 90 minutes, and it's the first time we'll see our governor, Tim Walz, go head-to-head on stage with Ohio Senator J.D. Vance. And with the missile strikes today, the question about defending Israel will almost certainly come to each of them, and they'll have 2 minutes to answer each question from these moderators. But unlike in the presidential debate, their microphones will be on the entire time. Not only that, CBS will not likely be live fact-checking. Norah O'Donnell and Margaret Brennan this time around will be hosting, and the fact-checking will really be up to the opponents on each other. And that brings us to the question of exaggerations, omissions, or just straight-up lies. Candidates almost always tell some of these, so what are we to make of that as voters? Sammy went searching for that answer.
Yeah, Jana, as you know, our newsroom has been hard at work fact-checking claims by politicians, and we take that role seriously, in part because legally there aren't a whole lot of consequences for lying politicians.
Blatant lying in politics is becoming more common, and voters let that happen, experts say.
The lies are more bald-faced. The blur between a lie and a conspiracy theory is now, quite apparent.
Howard Levine is a professor of political science at the University of Minnesota. He says legally, politicians don't have a lot of consequences when they lie.
It's a free-for-all, and really it is up to citizens to hold elites accountable, and they know that that's become much harder during a period that we're in, which is a period of extreme polarization.
According to the Congressional Research Service, a nonpartisan government agency, the First Amendment creates breathing space, protecting the false statements and hyperbole that are inevitable in free debate.
So I don't think it's all that surprising that we don't see all that much legal action going on with respect to holding candidates accountable for lies they tell on the campaign trail.
Matt Mata received his PhD in political science at the U and is now an assistant professor at Boston University.
In 2020, President Biden made a huge part of his campaign, devoted a lot of his campaign rhetoric toward talking about the lies and falsehoods aired by Donald Trump. Donald Trump lost the election in 2020, and he is in line for a very contentious battle in 2024. So I think there is some reason to believe that voters do hold candidates accountable for falsehoods. That being said, candidates on all sides of the partisan aisle have been known to stretch the truth or outright lie.
In recent weeks, the Trump-Vance campaign has accused the Harris-Walz campaign of lying and vice versa. Levine says polarization makes room for false claims for both sides.
Voters are less concerned with the truth than they are for shoring up their partisan biases. So they're less likely to believe it's a lie if it's from their own candidate, for example.
He says voters are unwilling to police their own party and are more concerned with winning.
We're filtering out all of that and trying to get to something, a couple moments in the debate that we think are the most important, and then make some quasi-objective judgment on the basis of those few moments that seem to stand out.
Mata just published a book highlighting the growing distrust in expert opinion, such as those in the scientific community. And Jana, that adds a whole new complicated layer to all of this when people are just having trouble accepting what the truth is because they don't trust certain experts in their fields.
You and I see that on a first-hand basis. As journalists, our job is to, if we see a claim, we fact-check it at times, especially in state races, and then we're called liars if the facts don't line up with what somebody wants to believe.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we talk about this every single morning in our morning meeting where we say, hey, we have to get down to the bottom of this, and we just do the best that we can. And sometimes people, distrust the media, and we just work hard to tell the truth. And that's our jobs, and that's what we aim to do every day.
Thank you, Sammy. We'll be doing that tonight. So will all of the networks. NBC's coverage of the debate starts right after breaking the news here on KARE 11. The actual debate starts at 8 o'clock.